What is up, guys? It is DMG here, and today we are going to be looking at some players that you might have overlooked during all of the FIFA 21 player rating hype. In this list of players, I'm going to be giving you some starter squad players and also some players to maybe aim for within the first month or two of FIFA. Now, these are not going to be players that are 800, 900k, such as a Messi or a Ronaldo, because while I'm sure everyone would like that, I'm also pretty sure that no one's going to have them, or at least the vast majority of us are not going to have them in the first few months of FIFA. So again, while not everyone on this list is a starter squad potential player, they are still players that should be somewhat affordable within a month or two of the FIFA 21 start date. Now, before we get into the video, make sure to like and subscribe so we can get some hype going into FIFA 21, and then I can continue to make some good videos and streams for you guys. So starting off this list of the 10 players, well, actually it's 11 players. I said 10 just because it's a cleaner title, but you know, there's 11, so I'm a nice guy like that. Now, first on the list is going to be Divock Origi. Now, we do know that Premier League players tend to be more expensive than other league in their counterparts. However, him being only 77 overall, he could be one of the better players to go get for your starter squad. 82 pace, 76 shooting, 77 dribbling, 74 physical. Now, he is also 6'2", and while he does only have a 3-star weak foot compared to previous FIFAs, hopefully he does get an upgrade. He does also have 4-star skills, again, compared to other FIFAs. So I think that is, all in all, a definite good starter squad. Definitely a good starter card to have. Next on the list, we have two center mids also from the Premier League. One is going to be Musa Suzuko, overpowered as hell last year, and hopefully he is overpowered as well this year. He was height-wise 6'2" last year, and he did have high work rates, which made him very incredibly overpowered. His pace is going to be looking the same. His physical is still absolutely insane. Now, his shooting is definitely low, so he is more of a defensive mid-type player because you don't want someone with 63 shooting to be going forward, but he is still incredibly good in that spot. Again, with that 78 pace, 77 defending, and 89 physical. And the other center mid is going to be Oxlide Chamberlain. He has 80 pace, he has 74 shoot. I mean, pretty much all around great stats. I mean, if you compare him to Phil Foden here, he has literally better stats in everything. Better pace, shooting, passing, dribbling, defending, physical. And if you compare his card to last year, he had 4-star weak foot, 4-star skills, and he also had high work rates. So if you're going for someone who is going to be more of an attack-minded center mid, go with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain here. If you want to go with someone who's more defensive, go with Musa Suzuko. I think this little combo here with Alex and Musa Suzuko here could be a very good combo, especially because both could potentially have high work rates, and both also could work in their roles of a more defensive-minded center mid and a more attack-minded center mid. So going next is going to be Benjamin Andre here, a defensive mid from League One. Now, he does have a couple of stats that maybe might turn a few people off. You know, 68 pace, but as a defensive mid, I think that's more than enough, especially near the start of the game. 79 defending, but 84 physical. And if you compared his card to last year, he had medium-high work rates. And as well, he also got an upgrade because I believe he was a 78 rated center mids. Now, you can also compare Benjamin Andre to Idrissa Gueye here. Now, the pace is very similar. It's only a 1 pace difference. Now, Idrissa Gueye's defending is much better. However, Benjamin Andre's physical is much better. And I do believe that Benjamin Andre can get forward a little bit better than Idrissa Gueye here. So, you know, it's a 4 overall difference. Both are going to have hopefully medium-high work rates. And yes, Idrissa Gueye's defending is better. But besides that, I think overall Benjamin Andre is a better card. Next on the list is another League One player, perhaps someone to link with Benjamin Andre, and that's going to be Rafinha here. He does have 91 pace, which is fantastic. That's been upgraded. In fact, his entire card has been upgraded after the season that he had. So he's now in over 90 pace. He does have better shooting, passing, dribbling, physical as well. If you compare his card to last year, he had 4-star skills. Unfortunately, he does have a 3-star weak foot. Hopefully that gets upgraded, but overall still a very good card. And considering that he can link with Benjamin Andre and he's Brazilian, you do have some good options for links. Now, we are getting into the more higher rated players, so keep that in mind. From here on out, it's probably going to be players who are costing, 5, 10K, maybe even 10, 20K. And then obviously once we get to the end, upwards of 100, maybe 150K. But moving on, we do have Lo Celso here, who actually has a better card than last year, and he also got downgraded. So the only thing that got downgraded on his card was his shooting from a 78 to a 77, but his dribbling got increased from an 84 to an 85, and his physical got increased from a 72 to a 73. So you do have essentially a better card here, while also having to maybe even pay less because of his lower rating. Again, he is another attack-minded center mid with high medium work rates, but considering that he does have 65 defending, I don't think that's anything too bad. Moving on, we are now going to go to De Ligt here. Now, his overall rating was the exact same as last year, but did actually get a +5 in pace and a +2 increase in defending. He still has the medium high work rates, he still has the 4-star weak foot. So literally he got better stats, and he just got a much better card in my opinion, because I mean, +5 pace is nothing to really scoff at. But he also stayed in the exact same overall, which is fantastic. He's 6'2". Again, we see he's medium-high work rates. It only says 84 physical, but he also has 88 strength, so that's fantastic as well. Definitely a card that is going to be more expensive at the start of the game, but is obviously not going to be upwards of 400, 500k. Could be attainable by within the first month or two of FIFA, and could be a very, very good card to have. Next up, we have Christian Eriksen here, another Serie A player. Now, he did get a -3 overall, but if you look at his stats from last year, not a whole lot has actually changed. You do have a -1 in pace, which isn't the worst. Your same shooting, passing did get decreased by 2, dribbling did get decreased by 2. If you look at his in-game stats, I think he's actually more of a center mid. So the fact that his pace isn't necessarily the fastest is okay, because again, you do want your center attacking mids to be a little bit faster, but as a center mid, I think you get away with a little bit slower players. So 72 pace, yes, it's not the best, but I think you can be overlooked with his shooting, with his great passing. Also, again, with his dribbling not being great for a center attacking mid, again, I do think he can get away with it if he does play center mid. Along with that, he does have incredible stamina here with 92, and he does have high work rate. So for me, it is a perfect player to put in a center mid position. Next up, we have Koke, and he's actually pretty similar to Eriksen in some in-game stats, some players that we'll talk about. However, instead of being more attack-minded like Eriksen is, he's actually going to be a little bit more defensive-minded. If we take a look at some of the in-game stats he has, yes, he does have less skills and weak foot than Eriksen, but that's okay, because like I said, he is going to be more defensive-minded. His defending is better. His physical, at least strength-wise, is better. He has very similar stamina, and he has the same work rates as Eriksen. His dribbling is not great, but again, for a defensive-minded center mid, that's okay. His passing is good. His pace, again, not the greatest, but you know, you put an engine, you put a shadow on him, you do something to increase his pace, and it's going to be okay. And along with that, if he does manage to find himself in an attacking position, yeah, I think he does actually have some decent shooting stats to actually potentially have some good shots. Next up, we have Alejandro Gomez here. He did get an increase on last year, and again, this is where we're starting to get maybe definitely more expensive players here, but again, nothing that shouldn't go over the cost of 400, 500k. The fact that he has great agility, great balance, his dribbling is 87, and again, with that amazing acceleration, he should be able to turn very quickly and potentially use that quick, agile dribbling system that looks to be pretty overpowered for FIFA 21. So the last player we are looking at is going to be Ciro Immobile here. Now, I don't think he's been massively overlooked. I think a lot of players have actually been looking at him, but it's mostly been because they want to compare his pace to Gnabry's and Sancho's. Somehow, Immobile is faster than Gnabry and faster than Sancho here. You look at his in-game stats here, his shooting is absolutely insane. 93 positioning, 93 finishing. Honestly, I don't really think you even need to touch his shooting, especially if you think about the fact that attacking AI could hopefully potentially be better this year with the additions of your own run making and with some intelligent attacking AI fixing that EA have done. Now, looking at his pace, looking at his dribbling, I do think those need to be increased. I don't think his pace is horrible at 84, but dribbling 83 does potentially need to be better. Hopefully, it doesn't come into play a whole lot for FIFA 21, considering that we again don't really know the meta. We don't know what's overpowered, what's not overpowered. But I think if you put an engine on him, his pace goes to 89, dribbling goes to 93, composure, ball control get increased, balance goes to 87, and overall I think that'd be a very solid card. You look at his his height, he's 6'1", so it's somewhat understandable why his dribbling isn't necessarily the best, and the fact that he also has a 4-star weak foot. Jesus Christ, I didn't even notice that. This guy could be disgusting. So that is going to be it for this video, and before people just start reaming me about not including Timo Werner for someone to have, or not including Rashford to have, yes, obviously, I would love to have Timo Werner in my squad. That would be fantastic. I would love to have Rashford in my squad, or Longley. These are not players that are just good and then you want to have. The players that are listed are players that potentially have been overlooked and that I haven't really seen a whole lot of hype about on Twitter. I can already tell what Lanzy's gonna say. How'd you not include Son? Heung-min Son looks so good, 5-star weak foot. Like, yeah, no shit, he looks amazing. Like, but anyway, that is going to be it for this video. If you do want to discuss anything more, or if you do want to talk about some players that I actually might have overlooked, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. But besides that, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been DMG. Peace.